Welcome back, Wrestling News CC fans. Oh, you're not going to believe what went down this week on Smackdown. This isn't your regular brand of drama, this is a storyline twist so wild, so jaw-dropping, you might just need a moment to process it. Roman Reigns, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, a man who's known for delivering chaos wherever he goes, just went off script in a way we've never seen before. It all happened after the high-stakes tension of WrestleMania 41 and, it involved none other than the architect, Seth Rollins. So, what exactly went down? What was the real motive behind Roman's actions? And just why did he seemingly break character to save Sami USO? Strap in, folks, because this is one Smackdown moment that'll go down in the history books, and I promise you, there are so many layers to unpack here. So, let's get right into it. Now, before we dive into the events of Smackdown, let's take a moment to reflect on what happened at WrestleMania 41. The tension between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins reached its boiling point. These two have been in each other's paths countless times over the years, and WrestleMania 41 was no exception. Roman, the head of the table, defending his long-standing dominance, while Rollins, the ever-elusive, ever-charismatic former Shield member, fought for respect, honor, and control. It was the clash of two of the most storied superstars in WWE history. But nobody could have predicted the fallout from their encounter, and what happened in the aftermath was just the beginning of something far more devastating. As Roman Reigns stood tall with his championship belt raised high, you could see it in his eyes. He wasn't just celebrating his victory. He was calculating. And that's when it all started to unravel. Let's bring it back to this week's Smackdown. The tension in the Bloodline has been palpable, especially after the shocking turn of events at WrestleMania. Sami USO, once a loyal member of the Bloodline, has been at odds with Roman Reigns and his cousins for weeks now. But just when it seemed like Sami might be on the outs, a surprising shift started to take place. This week, he found himself in a dangerous position, one where only Roman Reigns could save him. But the real shocker? It wasn't the Usos who swooped in to assist. It was Roman himself, breaking all the rules of the tribal chief persona to protect Sami, his one-time adversary. And the man caught in the crossfire? None other than Seth Rollins. Rollins, who's been trying to shake up the dynamics of the Bloodline and take control of the narrative, was in the middle of a heated battle with one of Roman's allies. But that's when it all went sideways. As Seth took the upper hand in the match, and tensions rose to a fever pitch, Roman made his move. No one saw it coming. Not the commentators, not the fans, and certainly not Seth Rollins himself. From out of nowhere, Roman Reigns, the master manipulator, delivered a brutal Superman punch that landed squarely on Seth's nose, leaving the architect floored. The sound of that punch, you could hear it echo across the arena. It wasn't just a punch, it was a message. Roman wasn't just defending Sami USO in the moment. Oh no, this was something deeper. Roman had just changed the game completely. Seth Rollins, the man who's been taking shots at Roman's legacy for months, was blindsided by none other than the tribal chief himself. But why? What was the real reason behind this brutal attack? Roman's smirk said it all, but what did it mean? Was he really saving Sami USO, or was this a calculated move to regain control over a situation spiraling out of his hands? Was there some unseen alliance brewing between Roman and Sami? And what does Seth Rollins' bloodied face mean for his future? Is this the end of the architect's quest for revenge against the Bloodline, or just the beginning of an even darker chapter? Backstage, things got even more interesting. Roman Reigns and Sami USO were seen in an intense conversation. But here's the catch, there was no animosity between them. No accusations. No yelling. Just, an understanding. It was like they were finally on the same page, but what was that page? Could it be that Roman was using Sami to his advantage? Or was Sami now fully in Roman's grip, playing the game his way? Meanwhile, the WWE Universe is still reeling from the aftermath of Roman's actions. Fans have been taking to social media, sharing their theories, and questioning what comes next. Will Seth Rollins retaliate? Could he be planning his own warpath to take down the tribal chief? Or will he look to make an alliance of his own to deal with this sudden turn of events? In the aftermath of the incident, questions flooded in. Was Roman truly trying to save Sami? Or was he making a statement to solidify his power over everyone, including Rollins, who had been a thorn in his side for months? The Bloodline's dynamics have always been fragile, but with Reigns' latest move, everything has been thrown into chaos. Was this an attempt to reassert control? Was Roman protecting his family in the most extreme way possible? Or was he simply trying to send a message to the WWE locker room? The only thing we can be sure of is that the landscape of SmackDown has been altered, and no one, not Seth, not Sami, and not even Roman himself, can predict what will happen next. As medical staff rushed to check on Seth Rollins, the WWE Universe stood in stunned silence. The Architect, the former World Heavyweight Champion, was clutching his nose, blood pouring down his face as the camera zoomed in to capture the raw reality of the moment. This wasn't just a scripted blow. The impact looked, and sounded, real. And from the footage that aired just moments after the punch, we may be dealing with a real injury. A potential broken nose. A statement. A war cry. All delivered with one perfectly timed Superman punch from Roman Reigns. Let's talk about that moment. Roman didn't hesitate. He didn't wait for commentary, didn't build to a grand reveal. He stormed down the ramp in silence, eyes locked on Seth Rollins. And just as Seth was about to finish Sami USO with a curb stomp, wham! The Superman punch heard around the world. The impact, the velocity, the force, all of it screamed one thing: Roman Reigns isn't done. Not by a long shot. Commentary replay. Pat McAfee screaming in shock. Pat McAfee, voice clip. What is Roman doing? That's Seth Rollins. This wasn't planned. Somebody stop this man. And then came the questions. Was this really unscripted? Was this part of a bigger master plan by Reigns? Or had the tribal chief finally lost control? Wrestling insiders backstage claim that this move wasn't rehearsed. The production crew didn't cue Roman's entrance music. There was no warning. No countdown. Just a man on a mission, charging straight into the fire. Now let's peel back the curtain and dig into the real mystery. Why Sami? Why now? Why would Roman, the man who exiled Sami USO from the Bloodline, suddenly go to war for him? After all, WrestleMania 39 was defined by Sami turning his back on Roman. Remember that infamous steel chair to the back? That betrayal that shocked the world. Roman never forgets. Roman never forgives. But here's the thing, Roman Reigns may hate betrayal, but he respects power. And right now, Sami USO might just be the most powerful chess piece on the board. With the Usos fractured, Solo Sikoa seemingly walking a fine line of loyalty, and Paul Heyman growing increasingly concerned about Roman's grip on the locker room. Roman may be playing a new kind of game. And Sami USO? He might be Roman's new pawn, or perhaps, his new knight. Could this be the formation of a new bloodline? One where Sami returns, not as a fool in Roman's court, but as a trusted soldier. Or is Roman simply protecting his own narrative, one where he alone chooses who rises and who falls? Remember, if Seth Rollins pins Sami, it sends a message that Sami is weak. But if Roman protects Sami, it keeps the narrative in his hands. Roman controls the board, and Seth just got sacrificed. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.